Hi, it's Ariana, and I want to talk to you about the election. No, not about who to vote for, but about a silver lining that I see in what has come out with the video of Donald Trump talking about how he could do whatever he wanted to women. And I'm up here in my beautiful healing room, which has now been inaugurated as a sacred workshop space, which makes it extra healing to be up here. And what I want to acknowledge as the silver lining of this, as awful as it is that it has inspired many, many, many more women to speak up and speak out about this kind of thing having happened to them. It's happened to me. It happened to me when I was a teenager. It happened to me when I was in my 20s and my 30s. It doesn't happen so much now that I'm 60, but we have all had these things happen. And now it is getting actually spoken about. Women are writing about it on social media. Women are writing articles about it. Women are coming forward to be interviewed on TV about this. So this having been treated as someone who has no personal agency, someone for whom it's okay for a toxic man to just grope, touch, whatever, just because he's a guy or because he's a star, even if you're not a star, so many of us have had this experience just with random men on the subway, on the street, and even if it hasn't resulted in actual rape or sexual assault, the feelings that it creates are these feelings of helplessness, of lack of value, of not being respected and honored. And women are coming forward to say, even decades after this happened to me, it still resonates, it still hurts in my heart and my soul that I was treated this way, that I was treated as an object, as someone who was not an actual person deserving of respect. So what I see happening is women's voices being heard for perhaps the first time in a very, very long time, and women being willing to speak up and speak out about these things that happened, with the feeling that maybe now it can change. Maybe now my voice can make a difference when I tell my story. So I'm celebrating this. I'm celebrating that women's voices are coming out, women are speaking up and speaking out, and men are listening, men are hearing. So I am really hopeful that this is creating the positive change that we need in our culture, that the culture is shifting to say, okay, you know what, that's really not all right. That's an old way of being masculine, and it's actually toxic. It's actually damaging to women, and in truth, it's damaging to the men too. And so let's all treat this as something positive, that this is all coming out. And I know it's sickening to have to listen to it, but it's got to come out. It's got to be aired. Women have to be able to speak. We have to be heard, and it has to change. And in order for it to change, we have to speak. So I'm really loving the fact that women are actually speaking up and speaking out. And as I said, that men are listening, that they're now realizing and saying in public, this is not appropriate, it's not okay, it's not the way real men treat real women. So I'm seeing this as a positive aspect and steps forward toward creating the true partnership between men and women that I have been advocating for so long. And I hope that all of you will continue to speak up and speak out, women and men, so that we can shift this permanently, so we can be done with this in this country, that it no longer becomes acceptable for that type of objectification and toxic masculinity to take over from what is the real masculine that honors and respects women. and that we as women can reclaim our sovereignty over ourselves, over our bodies, over our beings, as sovereign beings to be respected and honored and treated well and honorably. So blessings to you all.